This is Teresa at Slow Paths Wellness, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about functional medicine coaching and health coaching in general. I am a certified health coach, and I enjoy doing that for patients, and oftentimes when they come to my clinic, they think of what I offer as primarily acupuncture. And while I do offer acupuncture, I'm trained in acupuncture as a licensed acupuncturist, which means I have a degree specifically in Chinese Asian medicine, and that includes herbal therapy, that includes acupuncture, that includes the principles of Chinese medicine and how things balance from one thing to another, from one organ system to another. But acupuncture is actually just one of the things that I, or really any licensed acupuncturist, offers. We offer the idea of how to live within balance so that you're able to stop health problems before they start, or if you have them, you're able to help your body kind of regain its balance and its equilibrium and be able to heal itself. And that's very similar to what I do as part of my health coaching, especially the functional medicine side of it, which is modern medicine's attempt at becoming more like Asian medicine or some of the other traditional medicines that have been around for thousands of years. In health coaching, in general, what we do is we help people find what they want to do with their health, and then we help them put together their own path to that wellness. So while there are different people that may call themselves health coaches and they give you very strict lists of do's and don'ts and things you're supposed to do and things like that, that's not what I do, and that's not really what most people who consider themselves primarily coaches, what they do. For instance, if you're interested in weight loss, which is what a lot of people come in for coaching for, rather than say, here's a diet plan for you, here's an exercise plan for you, you should have this many pounds of food a day or this many ounces of food a day and drink this much water and exercise for this many minutes, what we would talk about more is what are you wanting to do what is it that your goal is? What are you trying to do? Are you losing weight because you want to be more healthy, because you want to look cute in a dress? Both, because you have a chronic health condition that you realize losing weight would help you with, and depending on what you answer with that, then we'd go to the next step. We also talk a lot about what's going on internally with your internal self-talk and with your preset mindsets for things. So if, for example, you want to lose weight because you think that you will have more value as a person who has lost weight, then we may try gently challenging that. We may talk about, well, what is it that you really value in a person? What is it that you want to be? Who do you want to be? Is a skinny person what you want to be? And it's not because we want people to not want to lose weight if that's something that's healthy for them. It's because a lot of times if you think you'll find happiness so that when you match a certain dress size, you may find out that's not true at all, that the mindset that made you feel like you weren't enough at the size of clothing that you are right now carries over when you're a different size. And that's where a lot of times eating disorders can come into play, because people keep thinking they will get to that place where they feel whole when they've lost enough weight. And so health coaching, especially the motivational interviewing, which is one of the methodologies that I'm trained in, helps you come to sort of by your own walking through your thought processes, come to the idea of, yes, I would like to lose weight because my family, diabetes runs in my family, and I don't want to have that. And I also want to look cute in a dress. And so then we might talk about, well, if you want to, what are some other things you could do in addition? How would you want to lose the weight? Would you do this in a way that's healthy? And then you would, think about that and talk through it and realize, for example, that you enjoy taking walks. And so we may say, okay, well, as part of your program to become healthier overall and have part of that be a healthy weight, then we will do, we'll talk about walking. Where would you like to walk? Where is a place you like that you can get to easily, that you can be consistent about? Do you have a friend you can walk with so that you have a support system built into that? Are there things that you can do to make it easier for yourself? And we would talk about that. And the idea is, as much as possible, to let the person coming in for the coaching initiate the ideas. So I could say, well, you should put your tennis shoes by the door, and you should have your workout clothes right there, and lunch hour is a good time to go walking, you should do that. But if I'm just telling you that, then one, I may not actually understand your situation at all. Lunch may be the time that you catch up on your phone calls for stuff for home, or you may If you leave your clothes by the door, your dog may come and get them and hide them or something. I may not know things about your life, and me just kind of dictating what you're supposed to do isn't going to help you. Plus, as most anybody knows, when you start having someone dictate from on high what you're supposed to do, it kicks in a natural human response. Like any tiny child will tell you, I can do it myself and I want to do it my way. It's something that most people have inside of them, and that's not a bad thing. That's a desire for personal agency. So instead, we would talk and let you be the one to initiate what you would want to do. And then we would talk about, so you'd set the idea of, I'd like to walk at 5 o'clock in the morning and walk 3 miles. And so we'd say, well, what could get in the way of that? And if you happen to be a morning person, there may be nothing that gets in the way of that. You may love that. But probably you would say, well, usually I hit the snooze alarm 5 times, and usually I don't really get up and get moving until about 7:30, and usually I'm almost late for work, and work starts at 10, so maybe 5 o'clock isn't the best for me after all. And then we would rework the idea from there, which may end up being taking a walk at the end of the day. Or it may be, instead of 5 a.m., maybe doing 7 a.m. or walking, coming to work a little early and walking, if you have a walking trail near your office, walking there. So you take care of the getting to work on time and the exercise at one time. The point is, no matter what your health goal is, and this one we've used losing weight because, as I said, it is a very common goal people have, we're making it something that you choose, and we do it for in a way that works for you. Because all these books about I have a proven system that works for people, a lot of times the proven system will work, but it works temporarily. It's very rare for someone to have to go into a really, really strict change in lifestyle that they did not initiate and that they had very little say in as far as putting it together, and have it become something that stays with them long term. The only parts of that will stay with them long term is the parts that work within their lifestyle, or that they're able to make enough changes without sacrificing their personality and their lifestyle and the things that they enjoy to be able to have. So coaching is about getting your goals in place, helping you find your motivation for them. So for example, if instead of weight loss, it was quitting smoking. A lot of people have the idea, a lot of people want to quit smoking because their doctor nags them every time they go in for their physical, and you should quit smoking. Well, if they don't actually want to quit smoking except for to get someone else's approval, then they're probably not going to do very well at it. By the same token, just about anyone you talk to about smoking knows that it's not good for them, that the statistics and probability of there being massive health problems if you continue smoking, they know that, and most people deep down inside would rather feel good and not smoke, but they don't necessarily have a real well articulated inner idea of that. And so then that would be my job as a coach, would be to talk about that and say, well, what are the benefits you can see from not smoking? And there would be things like saving money, living longer, having existing health problems get better, setting a good example for your children, perhaps having an easier work time because it is much harder when you have to leave for smoke breaks, since most places you can't smoke in buildings anymore. And then we say, well, what are some problems that could come up? And say, well, smoking's how I handle stress. Or some people just really like the taste of smoking. They like things about it. And I've never been a smoker, so I really can't speak terribly intelligently about that. But there's something about it that they just enjoy. And so we talk about, okay, well, how would we overcome those obstacles? Which may be some stress reduction activity. There may be some things, reading some things that you can see what your body is doing. I know for me, when I was recovered from uterine cancer, and I knew I needed to eat a different diet. I ate fairly well, but I had too many starches, too much saturated fat, and I knew I'd need to change my diet. In order to motivate myself, I looked up how different foods fought cancer, or how different foods helped other things of health. And that way it was much easier when I was in a restaurant situation to choose something that was a steamed vegetable instead of a fried meat, or fried anything for that matter, and to be able to make healthier choices. And now finally I'm at the point where at least half the time, when I decide I want a treat, I'm more likely to go and buy a little pack of blueberries than a muffin, because I realized that deep down I actually enjoy the blueberries more anyway. I just had to reprogram my mind to think of blueberries as more of a treat than a pastry. So we do the same thing for you. If you want to quit smoking, we think about, well, what is it? We might do mindfulness, where you focus on breathing in and experiencing what it's like to have air that doesn't have smoke kind of tinging it everywhere. We may have you start thinking about how things taste differently when you're a smoker or when you're not. May have you notice how your mouth isn't as dry, or how your skin starts becoming more healthy. May have you look at pictures of lungs just a little few days even after quitting smoking, and how much better they start looking. We may things so that you are actively recognizing the benefits of what you are doing, so that you're able to make the choice over and over and over again, day in and day out, to do the thing that's healthier for you. So this was a very quick talk about health coaching, about how it is aimed at your goals and what works for you, not something that is sort of dictated from on high, that you have to obey the coach and do what they tell you to do, where we work together to find the things that fit going towards your goal while still working within your lifestyle, so that you don't have to change every single thing about your life all at once, unless you already know that works for you. For some people it does. For most people, small measured changes work better. Coaches also talk a lot about mindset and about self-talk, so that you learn to do things out of a sense of caring for yourself, rather than from a sense of judgment or punishing yourself. I'm bad, I don't exercise enough. Instead of that, we would go for, I'm making a choice to move my body more and give it what it wants, so that it's able to be happier, and I'm getting the benefits in mood, in blood sugar control, in blood flow, of doing that, because I made a choice that was healthy for me, and that's much more empowering than feeling like I'm bad because I don't do something that some health guru or some person, even very correctly, says you should be doing. So health coaching is about self-compassion. It's about asserting yourself appropriately. It's about being able to have agency and make your own choices. And it's about just having someone there as a support system. Now, a lot of times we do also have expertise we can bring to the table, so we do have things we can share with you that are informational, but that's not the primary thing that we're doing as a coach. So I hope you found this interesting. If you would like to look into doing any kind of coaching, this is about health coaching, but I also do functional medicine coaching, which is same principles, but we're using a lot of testing and things to try to balance systems in the body. So there is a little bit more of the me sharing information in that scenario versus just behavioral sort of helps. But please, if you are interested, go to slowpathswellness.com. There's a contact form there you can fill out, and we can get together and I can tell you a little bit more about the things I do as a health coach, as a licensed acupuncturist, and as an herbalist. Have a great day.